I'm currently sitting in a rocking chair of the front porch of my latest Airbnb, which has received over 15 bookings in the last 2 weeks since I've listed it. And today I'm going to give you guys a tour and show you why so many people are interested in booking this property. A little bit about the property before we get inside. This is a 1,000 square foot cabin located in the middle of 5 acres of land. And at the end, I'm going to tell you why those 5 acres are very important and is going to make this one of the most profitable Airbnbs out there. But like I said, I'm currently on the front porch, so let's turn it around and give a little bit of a view. Here's me with my laptop because I like doing some work facing these nice woodland views that you guys just saw, but a really big expansive front porch. And right here is just a nice spot for you to potentially enjoy some morning coffee, some calm, or just sit out here in general. So we're gonna go ahead and walk right in through the front door. But before I do that, I gotta make sure that I take my shoes off, so I'll see you inside. Before we go in, if you've never done Airbnb, make sure you use a smart lock. It makes it a lot easier for guests to come in and out with a code rather than a physical key. So here we are, we get right in. You can see how nice and wooded and open it is. This is a true log cabin with awesome log cabin vibes. So I'm gonna turn it around and talk a little bit and tell you guys exactly what we did with this property and why so many people love it. As I mentioned, you can see it's so bright, wide and open, but it wasn't always like that when we first bought it. In terms of typical renovations, this was the lightest rehab that I've ever done on any property. I had to paint the ceiling above me because there was some mold and a little bit of spots there that weren't great. So mold killing primer and then top coat with some paint. When we bought this house, it had been vacant for 2 years, so no one had really been living here. The AC wasn't running, so a lot of the humidity ran a little bit of havoc on the property itself. But all of this amazing wood paneling and walls and really nice hardwood floor was here. On top of the painting of the wall, some other renovations that we did, let me flip you around so I can see what you're seeing, would be the coolest one is that I built this built-in bench seating area here. So this one was probably one of the more interesting and cool things I've ever built. And you can see I had to incorporate the HVAC duct into it right here, but basically just use some 2x4s, put together some finishing touches, cushions, and just made a much more open area, because before the only seating was this little table that we have right here that actually was this table that the sellers left. So right now it's a lot more cohesive. This corner is now useful because before it was absolutely nothing, and it makes the space feel a whole lot bigger. Another thing that I did, because there was very little lighting in here, and I'll show you exactly how much there was. This was all of the lighting that was in the property, because these 2 lights on either side used to be fans. So of course added that in to make it a lot brighter and make it seem a lot better. The other thing that was extremely necessary to add was these 2 light switches right here didn't actually turn on any lights, so I had it rewired so that one of the light switches would at least turn on 1 light, so you didn't have to walk from the front door all the way over here in order to turn on a light. As far as the layout of the property goes, this tour to walk around wouldn't take you very long, but just let's talk a little bit about some of the furniture and some of the choices. A bench for me is always a must when you come in because people like to sit down or put stuff down. And then I always like to have this exact same sign in all of my Airbnbs. Maybe people don't remove their shoes, but I appreciate it if they do, especially to keep it clean, especially since we're in a wooded forest area. That's super helpful. This couch right here is a good one for the space. It's actually pretty large and fits the space pretty well and wasn't too expensive. And a little bit of a pro tip here, if you're planning on utilizing or creating a property into an Airbnb, is this furniture, specifically the couch and a few other things we bought on a website called Minoan. Not sponsored, but essentially if you have a business, typically an Airbnb, you can get a lot of stuff for a wholesale price. So you can go on there, create an account, and buy a lot of furniture for cheaper. So for example, this couch normally retails at about $2,000, but we got it for $1,500. So other than creating a nice open and cohesive area with the extra table, got a Samsung frame TV, which is pretty cool. You can put art on it. So this always stays on and it eventually turns off, but if someone walks by, it'll turn back on, and it's really, really cool and flush with the wall. You can see how tight it is up against the wall. So it actually just looks like a piece of art rather than a bulky TV on the wall. And of course, added a big console table and a record player. People really like the record player. And of course, we gave them a bunch of records. And since we're in the middle of nowhere, and this is considered more of a getaway staycation type stay, Of course, we're including all of the very important games so people have some fun stuff to do. And something we like to leave for every single guest is some type of s'more kit. So we have marshmallows, graham crackers, Hershey bar, and then we also keep some steeped coffee so that you can feel alive and well while you're at the place. In terms of all of the decor, every single finish, that is all chosen by Mia. If I chose to do any of that, it would look absolutely horrible. So that's why it's important to have people in your life who can do a lot of these things better for you. Partner with people who are good at the things that you are bad at, because I'm good at a lot of things, but decor, finishes, even renovation plans I'm not that good at, but Mia does really well with them. So some other things that she decided to do that we added were this little table right here. And on top of the table are some other amenities that we give every single guest. So in here are these fire pokers and basically what you would put a marshmallow or a hot dog or anything else that you might put over the fire pit, because in the backyard, which I'll get to, there's an amazing fire pit. And because a lot of places I know charge you for this, but I didn't want to charge people, I add fire starter and a lighter, and then below is a grill kit because we have a grill. And that's because I just want people to not have to go somewhere and figure out where to buy stuff. Other than that, we changed all of these handles from chrome to black, so black finishes just look a lot better. And a nice new faucet. This is like $100. It's a pretty solid one, much better than some of the shittier ones that I've ever bought, but still a really good price range. Other than that as well, there was some bulky, ugly lighting here and here that I changed out, and some other simple little fix. This door barely opened and closed. It kind of got stuck on itself, so tighten that one up as well. In terms of all of the appliances, they were already here, but they are Samsung, so we'll see how long those actually last. Some other things that we like to offer guests just to make the stay seem really cool. This is a Fellow kettle. It's a very expensive $200 kettle. Also got it on Minoan. I think it ended up being $130. Of course, some coffee grinds so that people have some more coffee. Just give people some good options and a few different ways for them to make coffee. So we have a pour over set as well as the actual coffee machine right here. One thing you might have noticed is this fireplace. We do not let people utilize it. It is a wood burning fireplace. It's more decorative. There's a cool fire pit outside that I'll show at the end. So didn't really see the need of offering people more firewood to come inside and utilize the fire, especially when it's a pretty small house and has really solid heating. One thing I forgot to mention is that this house was built in 2017, so it's pretty nice and new. There's a lot of fantastic systems. The heating system, cooling systems, all relatively young, and the roof is a metal roof, and those usually last about 100 years. And we're out on well water, so the only actual utility expense I have would be electrical. And the electrical basically pumps up the water. And I have a hot tub in the back, which I'll also show. I'm spoiling my whole video right here. But I filled up that hot tub and my electric bill was only $45 for the month. That included heat and getting all of that water, which I don't pay for that water, so that also helps keep expenses low. Okay, so let's move into the bathroom, and you can see on all the doors added the same black handles, tried to go with black finishes, and the same knobs that we had in the kitchen. Changed out the faucet and made a nicer mirror, the same black finishes, and a nice light with also the black finish. Of course, too, for the towel holder, did the same thing. Paper towel holder, also black. And it's a pretty nice little bathroom, nothing crazy. Hardwood floors though, so we'll see how those last over time. And then another towel bar right here that is also black. The other things that aren't black would be what's in the shower itself. So just left that with the same shower head that was already here. But I did have to change out some of the trim pieces here because they were really scaly and green and just didn't look good. So just had to change those out. But a pretty standard bathroom. As far as a 2-bedroom, 1-bath goes, it has everything that you would need and everything that you would want. And you can see also everywhere else, we have random little cute decor like this. There are pillows everywhere. I never realized how many pillows you should have in a place to make it look good, but apparently the more of the pillows, the better. Next, we'll go into both rooms. And actually before we get into the rooms, let me show you guys the supply closet. This is a vital piece of your Airbnb that's gonna house linens, extra towels, and all of the s'more stuff that I give people and basically anything else. So let me open that up real quick. So here we have it here. And of course I keep this locked because there's so many things in here. Toilet paper, paper towels, extra shampoo, conditioner, coffee, chocolate, marshmallows. And this really is something that the cleaner will utilize a lot. And for every one of my Airbnbs, I make sure that I get 3 sets of everything. So when the cleaner comes in, they don't have to wash everything and put it back. And in case something gets dirty, they can just change out all of the stuff and it's ready to go. So we can do those same day turns really quickly. But now let's head over into the bedrooms. So beyond the supply closet, we have bedroom 1. This is the one that if I'm staying here, I prefer to sleep in. Couldn't tell you why, but just like it quite a bit. One of my favorite things about this room is this little kayak thing here. Mia found it at an estate sale and we just have little pieces of decor on top of it and it looks really nice. Also, something that's really important in today's market with Airbnb is having a dedicated workspace. So if someone wanted to work out of here, they could do that. And we actually have really strong internet, even though this is in a pretty rural space. Both bedrooms are queen beds. Unfortunately, couldn't do king mattresses, which I really wish I could have done. But you can see right here, door opens up here, then we have the bed and only 1 nightstand. So that's pretty much the max amount that we could utilize for this space, unfortunately. So that's the way it is. And for each guest, leave out some hot tub towels as well as some regular towels. And then I have extras as well because I don't want people asking me about extra towels. One really only renovation I did in here was change out the fan to this nice sleek black modern fan. So it looks much better. The walls were already painted as is. And of course, the wood paneling was there. Did add the nice drapes and these are the same throughout the entire house. So from this bedroom into the other bedroom, it's going to look pretty similar, just with a little bit of different decor. Same thing here with the fan, change that out and some little bit different decor. Added this thing on the wall. Birds, ducks, all that stuff look kind of cute. People appreciate this stuff and it looks nice. And you know, we are out in farm rural area, so you're gonna see some pigs and cows as you're driving up here. So have a little bit of that decor as well. The only weird thing about this room, in my opinion, is that there's this door here. There was a door off of the kitchen to get to the back deck. Also one here, it's kind of not really functional. Maybe people like to use it, but if it were me and I were building this house from scratch, one, I would make the bedrooms a little bit bigger so you could fit a king mattress, and I'd also get rid of that. So that's the inside, and now I'm gonna take you outside and show you what the big reason is why so many people wanna stay at this random cabin in what seems like the middle of nowhere. So let's head outside. Right off of the kitchen, first we have a grill, because if you're gonna be back here and hanging out cabin, camping, glamping style, you're going to probably wanna be grilling stuff. But you can see right here, amazing hot tub and a really cool fire pit area. This is where a majority of money was spent getting this place up and ready. This was nothing before, so had to cut down a couple of smaller trees to make space for this really awesome fire pit area and get this all sorted and going to make a really cool hangout spot for everyone who wants to stay here. So this right here is the shot that we have as the main cover photo because it incorporates the cool fire pit right here, and we do provide everyone firewood because, again, I think it'd be annoying if you didn't. But it just shows you the big reasons why you're staying. You can create a fire, hang out by the hot tub, relax inside, read a book, cook some food, and hang out by the picnic table. Also added all of these string lights here and put a post in so that it was cemented in so that the lights made sense. And that's pretty much the backyard right there. And this is really the biggest reason why it's such a good moneymaker. So it started raining a little bit, so I'm trying to stay under cover, keep my nice poofy hair up and poofy, as well as of course keep my camera not wet, or else I'd be sitting on the Adirondack chairs. And I'd probably be trying to make a fire, use the hot tub, but also people are staying here in 4 hours, so maybe isn't the best idea. But today I'm also going to go over some of the numbers and, like I said at the beginning of the video, what I plan on doing with the rest of the 5 acres. First, with the rest of the 5 acres, I've already talked to the county and I would be able to basically add tiny homes and tree houses. So the cost for some of the tiny homes that I'm seeing are about $65,000. That includes HVAC, getting it actually shipped to the specific location. Now, that wouldn't include hooking up utilities to it. So I'd have to potentially create more septic tanks, run the electrical, and all of that good stuff so that it's a usable cabin. But overall, all in costs, there's no more closing costs. I don't have to buy a new property. I can just put it on this same land. And talking to the county, they're more than fine with basically whatever I want to do with it because We're in rural North Carolina, so there aren't a ton of rules. Lastly, for the cost, this was a 20% down conventional investment loan that I used for this property. Purchased it for $290,000, so had a like $60,000 down payment, I think, something around there, plus the closing costs, and then being able to get all of the furniture up and running. If we didn't have the hot tub or the backyard stuff, it would have been about $12,000 of furniture, but the hot tub itself was $7,500, and I had to pay $2,000 to get the electrical ran and hooked up properly, plus all of the landscaping for the backyard, which was right around $7,000 for the concrete pad. All of the driveway I actually created, sort of a gravel driveway, and then all of the nice rock and the fire pit area that's around me with the pavers surrounding it. That's it, there you have it. This is the awesome cabin Airbnb that I have, second ever Airbnb, and it'd be awesome if you guys could follow the Instagram page. Actually, I keep out these pretty nice business cards right here with a lot of the Instagram info, but I will put that in the link in the description. Right now running a giveaway. Not sure if this video will get edited and put out before the giveaway is over, but if not, planning on doing discount codes and giveaways if you're in the North Carolina or want to travel to the North Carolina and actually stay here. If you guys like that video and want to learn more about investing in real estate, Airbnb, financial freedom, building wealth, and the like, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already done so, please like the video. It helps me a lot and makes me want to make more videos when I know people are watching and actually liking them. So thanks again for watching, and more wealth is coming your way.